You hear me now? What's going on, Malik? I'm just getting stuff ready right now. Salute to you, man. Salute. All right, there we go. Sounds better? No sound? All right, give me a second. I gotta probably turn it up. Is that better? Oh, okay. So I just probably had to turn it up. That's all. All right, give me a second. I'm just getting things ready. We're starting 5 minutes, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're gonna do like a 2.5 hour show today, so nothing too big. I'm gonna do something tomorrow on my other show. So what we usually do in the beginning is we usually just conversate, see how everybody's doing. Then we're gonna jump right into the question. You know, you Muslim? I think you will be the second Muslim I had on this show. Second, maybe third. Um, I used to practice the study of Islamic beliefs. Probably 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Used to do Ramadan, used to celebrate after Ramadan's over. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I used to do a lot. I did that and I actually studied the Islamic belief for 15, 20 years. If you don't really believe it. I started doing it after I left my father's house. Um when I first lived with my father, I left his house and I became a Muslim. Uh, I didn't eat pork. Last time I ate pork was probably when I was like 18. I'm 40 now, so I just found out I'm allergic to it. So all I do is throw in an ibuprofen. Like sometimes, because my children's mother is Cambodian. They eat a lot of pork, just like Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans eat a lot of pork. You know, even when I did eat pork, I wasn't really the biggest pork person. I probably would eat bacon the most, but I don't eat it no more. I felt better after I stopped eating it. It took me a while to stop eating it. I did crave it at once, but after that, I even gave up smoking when I turned 25, 26. I used to smoke Black and Miles. I smoked them ever since I was 13. I stopped when I was 25. So it was dope because if you're gonna be fighting in the streets, you're gonna need stamina. You know, I always tell people all the time. I always tell gang members that I was like, yo, if you're gonna be fighting, try to pick up a fighting style. You know, at least you can you won't at least you can be fluent in something. You know, It's you'd be surprised, man. In the streets, like me, I had boxing skills, you know. But when you have boxing skills, that shit really doesn't matter in the streets because motherfuckers want to do the MMA, slam people and shit like that. People don't really use these anymore, you know. It's a lost art, if you ask me. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a lost art. Boxing, like having hands, lost art. Most people don't know how to do it. Most people don't know how to. So it's weird though. But salute to you, man. I appreciate you for coming on the show this late at night. I don't know what you have to do, but we'll get started. Like I said, we'll get started with the topic. Probably around 9:30, 10. These topics, it kind of gets messy and stuff, but you know, it's a good thing. Um, Best advice I'll tell you for this show: have thick skin and try not to take anything too personal. You know, I would always tell people that never take anything personal. Um, because there's worse stuff that's going on in this world. You know, so yeah, I do that. You know, I do tell people that. That's one thing about life. You have to have a thick skin because life is weird, man. I will tell you that. You know. Give me a second, everyone. Oh, salute, DJ X1. Peace. What's going on? Yeah, sorry I didn't finish that show this morning, man. I was exhausted still. I don't know, yo. I was sick yesterday. I don't know. It's because I had a protein shake. What I don't know what it was. The 2 out of 3 times I had that protein shake, I had a headache, and I didn't feel like eating. I don't know if it's the protein, the powder in the protein shake, or it's something. You know, like for the past 2 years, I've been walking on like 215. You know, and when certain times I just don't feel like eating, so I have to take the protein shakes. I usually have like 2 boiled eggs and some grits, and like I said, a protein shake. You know, so like that's how I keep my weight. Was the green one that supposed to be the best? What green one? The protein shake, or are you talking about something else? Was it the green one that's supposed to be the green? I don't know what green one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what green one you're talking about. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Was the protein shake? No, it was strawberry. I think it was strawberry whipped cream or some madness. Yeah, like it's good. It's just I don't know. It just gave me a headache. There was one time I had it and I had to make myself throw up, or it could have been the liquor from 2 days ago that I was drinking. So, yeah, it's like sometimes you don't know what's going on. You know. Um, yeah, man. But how's your day so far, DJ X1? Yeah. I was telling Malik um how I used to practice the Islamic belief for 15 years. I call it the Islamic belief, but it's basically being a Muslim. You know, being a full-fledged Muslim, you know. It's like I said, it's a weird situation with me. It's been lovely, man. Me and look, went to the park today. Yo, was it hot today for you? Cause I think where you at in Detroit, right? Was Detroit hot today? Boston was, Massachusetts was hot, man. I was like, yeah, I was struggling with the weather today. I don't know why. It was a big struggle for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was. It just, yeah, I was fucking struggling, man. Mm. I've been drinking water all day. Tomorrow I gotta go grocery shopping. I did want to buy some sneakers, but I'll wait until my next paycheck or when I do day trading or something. I did see some Jordans I did like, but I'm trying to save up. I want to buy a Corvette, so yeah. It was about 65, 68 today. Oh, you're in San Fran. Okay. Oh, the Bay Area. Hey, how's y'all weather at night? I heard at nighttime the weather drops. You know, it was like fucking 93, 95 today, but it was like dry. You know, and I think I need some brakes for my car, man. Man, I think yeah, I think the Camaro needs some brakes, man. Um, I should learn how to do it. Just watch YouTube and put the shit on myself, man. But I don't know. I got the tools, you know. So I just gotta stop being lazy. I gotta figure out what's wrong with it first. If it's just I need some calipers and some brakes. Mm. Yeah. Sometimes you get that hell of a cold. Yeah, it's yeah, man. California, like I always tell people all the time, DJ X1, I was like, yo, I love California, but I cannot live there. Yo, y'all laws of the land is very, very different. It's unique, but it's very, very different. I don't think I could do it. Yeah, it's different, man. Even the way how like yo, you go online and stuff, you see these celebrities, yo, the way how the Mexicans be talking crazy about Black America is crazy. Like, yo, it like I always tell people all the time, Boston is very dangerous, and the reason why it's dangerous because it's like Australia. Everything is dangerous. Everything can kill you. You know, like the fucking crackheads will rob you if they're really down to their luck. They will find a gun and run down on the drug dealer. Like yo, I have seen. The funny thing about it, I have seen it before. That's the crazy part. I have seen the shit that crackheads was like, yo, fuck it. I need something. I need something to kill this, you know, this itch. And the nigga will go to our cousins that's probably a small time hustler or nigga, I had this cousin. When I was doing my thing in the street, I had this cousin. He was a crackhead. I'm not even gonna lie, he was a crackhead. He always asked me to use random things. One time he asked me to use some rope. I didn't know what the fuck he was using rope for. I found out later why he used rope, you know, he's like, yo, I'll give it back to you. I was like, nah, I don't want it. He's like, why? I was like, I don't know what the fuck you doing with it. You're a crackhead, you know? So this nigga went and kidnapped the fucking drug dealer's girl, and the cops caught him. This nigga went to jail. Yeah, they tried to kill him in jail too. He had to go into protective custody. That's how bad it was. Like everybody was trying to kill him. Nigga had that bill out on him. Like that contract out on the crackhead. That's the funny part. Like when you have to kill a fucking crackhead, like when you have a contract out on a crackhead to get this motherfucker knocked off, yo, you're doing bad. And I had to tell the drug dealer, I was like, yo, you killed the nigga. I was like, yo, you nigga, you gotta look bad out here. First of all, niggas gotta know that, like, yo, you put a hit out on a fucking crackhead and you're about to go to jail for killing a crackhead. You know, he was trying to come up to fucking cloud nine. Shit, he was trying to get high. Yeah, these crackheads is dangerous out here. I remember this dude. He was from my old projects. He was selling niggas soap. Crackhead tried to stab him. Yo, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. The crackhead did stab him. The motherfucker had to put tape on it, and so he didn't want to go to the hospital. Nigga stabbed him. Yeah, crackheads is out here, yo. They be wildin' out here in Boston, man. Yeah. Like, you might get the white crackheads that will just, like, yo, beg for money and they don't get it. They'll cry, cry on the floor and shit like that. Yeah, you get those type of crackheads out here, but nah, there's some thorough crackheads out here. But the thing of, let me tell you what it is. Them niggas used to be gang members. I think that's what it is. Them niggas used to be gang members. Like I had this cousin. I have another cousin. I'm not gonna. It was a female too. I ain't gonna tell you her name. But I let my baby mother met her. My father fucked up and told her what my cousin used to do back in the days. This bitch used to run brothels and smoke crack. And one day a John didn't want to pay. This bitch stabbed him. So, now this chick is a Christian right now. She's a Christian praying to God, taking care of people. Yo, praying for everybody. Yeah, changed her whole fucking life. But she was out here fucking selling pussy to people. Selling bitches pussy and stuff like that. She was a pimp, you know. So, hey, what's going on, Randall? How's everything? Yeah, but. Because my baby mama used to say, oh, my family's crazy. You met my family crazy? I was like, nah, I don't think you met my family. My family is nuts, you know? Like, and I always tell people all the time, give me a second. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, no, never mind. I always tell people, like, yeah, my family's crazy. People look at me like I'm crazy because the shit that I say. Because I'll tell somebody something like, yo, this nigga did this shit. Like, nigga, you crazy. I'm like, no, I'm serious. He did that. And I guess it's because of my look, like how I when I tell him, I just give him a normal look. Like it's normal to me. But the shit's not normal. And when this shit happens, they was like, yo, how the fuck did you know? I'm like, nigga, I told you I'm not crazy. This nigga does that shit all the time, you know? It's just... I don't know. I always tell people this. I wouldn't say I was growing up around crackheads, but I was growing up around that atmosphere, you know? Like, I lived in a project in the hood at the same time. You know, I used to go with my grandmother, was it 3 days into a hood. And the hood is, like, down the street from where Bobby Brown used to live at. I used to live on Mount Pleasant. That's in Roxbury. But I stayed, my birthplace is fucking Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, the projects, you know. That was my projects. That's where I always lived at. You know, I always go back and forth. And like I always tell people all the time, most of them niggas is my cousins. And it's because, you know why? Most of those people never left the projects. So they just had babies by each other and everybody became related, you know. From the blacks to the Puerto Ricans to the Dominicans, even the Mexicans. You know, and that's why everybody sound the same because most of the motherfuckers is black, you know. So, like I said, everybody's sleeping with everybody, you know. And you get your good occasion of whites and you know the other minorities and stuff like the whites. You might get a white here and there. You might get a Cape Verdean, you know, a Guatemala. Even Mexicans is here and there, you know, but they're in the community, you know, pumping out black babies and shit, you know. It's just how it is. Give me a second. Yeah, it's just. I always tell people. That's why I always tell people all the time. When I was young, I was confused. I didn't know what a Latino was, or a Spanish person was. I thought them niggas was black niggas. But them niggas were from a different country with a different culture with a different lineage. And I thought they were all black because, like I said, when I'm in my community, everybody talk the same, you know, because everybody's related, you know. You might get that one, little racist parent that like, oh no, stay away from the blacks, and she go in the getting a black baby. That's how that shit stops because them niggas end up having black grandkids. You know, project niggas. The kids is a project kids. You tell the kids don't stay away, but if like 90% of the people are fucking project people, you can't get away from that shit. In the Bay, we got a lot of black, whites, Filipinos, Chinese, Latinos, and Samoans. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, the West Coast is different, man. We got Chinese in Boston, Filipinos here and there, blacks and white. I must say this. There's not really that many blacks in Boston like that. There hasn't been many blacks since like probably the 60s and 70s. I mean, whites. I'm sorry, whites. There's not that many whites in Boston. It hasn't been there since 60s and 70s. They all moved out. Because South Boston used to be all white. It used to be a racist fucking town. South Boston is where Whitey Bulger, what was it, Mark Wahlberg, Donnie Wahlberg. Them niggas is from Boston. They're from the trenches of Boston. The reason why Donnie was so famous because he used to perform in black middle schools, high schools, and elementaries. That's why they were actually really into the culture. Mark Wahlberg, he was on some other shit. I'm gonna be personally honest. He was on some other shit. If you ever check his record, he has a hate crime that he been trying to get off his record for like probably 30, 40 years. He beat up some China man, and that's what they caught his ass. He pleaded. That's why he been trying to get a gun. He been trying to get a firearm for years, but he got that on his record, So it's baseball players said they heard racist comments. Oh yeah, absolutely. Ooh. That's why they had to move out of Boston because technically black people were targeting them. Those drug dealers in Boston, them niggas was getting targeted. Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. He's from Dorchester. He's from Boston. Yeah. Yeah. But all due respect, I could, if it get off his record, I wouldn't mind. And the reason why I said I wouldn't mind is he changed. You can see that he changed. It's not like he violated some bitch or something. But it's he was doing what he was. I'm gonna say this: he was a product of his own environment at that time. You can be a product of your own environment. That's why when niggas do nigga shit, when black people do nigga shit, they use 9 out of 10 they're a product of their own environment. And sometimes they have to learn late. We can, and this is why I always tell people all the time: it's a tricky situation, and it's because he is from Boston. Boston is known for racism. Like, I get that part. He is known for race. It's known for racism. From the Celtics to the fucking Red Sox. The Red Sox didn't get a black player to I think the 60s. Why, everything was already integrated. Boston Red Sox didn't get a player until like a black player until what? Yeah, the 60s, I think. So it's understandable, but at the end of the day, as I tell other people, we cannot we can't look at the people who are actually known for doing that shit, and not give this motherfucker a break after he has done a lot. Like, look at his brother. His brother, yo. When I say, yo, this nigga, like, perform. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I don't think y'all would believe me. Donnie is known from New Kids on the Block. Without New Edition, there will not be no New Kids on the Block. Because all those people were hood kids and project kids. Bobby Brown's a project kid. Bobby Brown didn't get introduced to cocaine or crack. Well, cocaine. I don't know if he did crack. He didn't get introduced to cocaine until he met Whitney. He was a weed head. Bobby Brown was a weed head. You know, the reason why Bobby was so crazy, the reason why most of those people was crazy because they were a product of their own environment. Some of these people are just, some of these people are just touching money. And some of these people didn't get money until like probably their third album, because their managers robbed them. Yeah. True. New Kids on the Block on was a spinoff of. Yeah, absolutely. They were, but only person I think was actually really from Boston was Donnie. What's his name? Jordan. I think he's from Springfield, Mass. That's where Jonah Lucas is from. That's like 45 minutes out of Boston. 45 to like 50 minutes out of Boston. Johnny Gill. No, I don't think he's from Boston. He came later in the group, but let me tell you how small it is and like how connected New Edition was. I have a picture of Michael Bivins at the Boys and Girl Club with my mother when they were young. Let me see if I can find that picture. If I can find that picture, I'll show you. Like Mike, he's a good guy, man. Michael Bivins always been a good guy. I've been knowing Michael Bivins ever since I've been going to the YMCA. He was the BBD, Bell Biv and Bell Biv DeVoe. They promoted the YMCA. They have done a lot for Boston. Let me tell you something. Out of a lot of people who came out of Boston that were celebrities, New Edition has done more for anybody in Boston than any celebrity. I'm gonna be personally honest. And them niggas didn't even have money like that. Them niggas did shit with people in New York. Let me ask you a question. And I know most of y'all niggas won't believe me when I'm saying this. Y'all niggas might think I'm capping. Now, where you think the Timberlands came from? Came from New Edition. Y'all might not believe me. Y'all don't have to believe me now. But it will pop up sooner or later. Or I might just get bored and just show you like, oh, yo. Them Timberlands came from New Edition. I'm not saying it's a Boston thing, but if we can inspire somebody, fuck it. We can say it's a New York thing. It was inspired by New Edition, man. Them niggas most of them kids is project kids. Project and hood kids. One of them, I don't know which one of them, they're from Cathedral. Cathedral's in the South End. Like, all of this shit is close, but it's kind of far. Like, rocks from where Bobby lived and whoever lived in Cathedral, that's still like a 20, 30-minute walk, you know? Was it all of them dudes from New Edition living in the projects besides? Nah, some of them were hood cats. Like Michael Bivins, he used to come down to my projects in JP all the time and like, do his thing. Some of them people weren't even singers. They were just dancers. Like they were put together. You know, whoever did that was a great job, man. You know, I personally liked, they're my favorite group. I'm going to be personally honest. Out of just singing is New Edition. I like New Edition. And I'm just talking about like any artist. It's New Edition. And I even throw some heavy metal with this. System of a Down. I like System of a Down. I used to listen to that when I was younger before the lead singer just left and did his thing. You always got to throw the Outkast in there. I love the Clips. Clips is probably my fifth. Not my fourth or my third. No. I'm going to put my Outkast as 10. Wu-Tang is my third. And this is just all collective of music. No genre, no special type of genre or anything. Just music base for me, you know. So yeah, like me, I always listen to. When I was younger, I always listened to different type of musics. I really loved classical music when I was younger. I loved classical music. My favorite instrument that I never learned how to play was the violin. It's my favorite instrument, and whoever can play it like perfectly, it's my favorite thing to listen to. You know, so yeah, it's super dope, man. Like I even got hood niggas into like fucking classical music. They didn't know shit about it. Now them motherfuckers know more than I do about classical music. You know, it's just I think classical music to me I always looked at it as an emotion. No matter how you're feeling, no matter how you're feeling, no matter how you're thinking, you can understand it and you could see it in a certain way, you know. So that's why I always love classical music. Yeah. um, yeah, it's just it's different, man. I just personally I just love music as a collective, you know. Um, I do want to say this though. Let me see what you said. I thought the Tims got popularized. Yeah, they were popularized in New York, but Michael Bivins in the interview said he said him and New Editions brought. Let me see if I can find that. He brought the Tims to New York. Give me a second. I'm gonna find it. And I'm not even a Tims type of person. Um, mm, hold on one second. Let me see if this is it.
AMC. We keep Velvet the Bow. We talk about. That's why he or the music industry. We want to. After the games, we would shoot up club ball, street ball, and dipping and da 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 and all of that. And that's kind of like how we met. There was a recreational center in our project called the Orchard Park Rec Center. Right. And it was only 4 teams, 13 in London. Ralph and Ricky was on the Celtics. Me and Bob was on the Warriors and the other 2 teams. So we kind of got familiar with each other in the ground, whatever. How old were you at this time? Shit, we was balling. Listen, this is why you look. He's like, what the hell? Right. But that was his thing. He was a pop with the Godfather, Book Pain. And then Brooke and our other managers Travis. So, well, shit.
I'm about to find it.
It was on the college radio station first, WRBB. Shout to Skeeter.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You know, back then we had. How old were you at that time? We were like 83, like 14. 14. Yeah. So we trying to call each other, but we're not, nigga. That's a tape show. It's like dollars, $25. So. When I was young, I was so impressed.
Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna find it for y'all. Before I start, I will find it. Is this it?
What was the other one? Just rock with you. Rock with you. Wasn't like a, you know, it's just rock. And he went and he said, Mike, I got a part for you. Ron, in the song. You all right? What's what?
We're gonna say it's still from New York, and New York created until I find it. I want to validate it. Because I always still see Tim's as New York's. Because they thought of the word butters, And I think that's super dope.
It, we didn't look at ourselves like I'm bigger than you. You're less. That was some other shit. That was timing thing. When he just turned to the side, clicked that bliggity. Y'all motherfuckers ready? And then boom, man, we just grandmaster. But me, we got to talk about this. I'm like, yeah,
Salute FBA. How's everything?
but nigga, you go.
We're about to start in like 10 minutes.
We go right over. But we know. We know. Right. We know. And they know if they watch. And who was responsible for it? That shit comes 6 months, 12 months, 8 to the business. Yeah. Love that nigga.
Damn, I can't find it. I'll find it later. But we're gonna say it's still New York. We're gonna still say it's New York. Salute FBA. What's going on, man? How's your Wednesday? You know? There. Coffee. It's two different. It's two different ones. Cavassier. Coffee Patron. You know. But yeah, I do want to say this though. Like I'm always gonna say this: New York has inspired Boston for the past 15 years. I will say that, and I wouldn't say Black Boston because there's a difference between Black Boston and White Boston. White Boston be like ka, fa, ba, all of that shit. We don't say that shit. That shit is crazy. I'm gonna be personally honest. That let me tell you where that shit comes from too. That shit came from when all these Irish motherfuckers moved here. That's where you got the ka fa ba. They brought that Irish bullshit here. You know, that's why you can hear it out of Mark and Donnie Wahlberg. You can hear that. You know, they sound like fucking what's his name? Conor McGregor. You know, we don't say that shit, man. I'm gonna be personally honest. It's different with us because you could tell like when a person is from the projects and stuff like that. You could tell a person who's just a hood dude. You know, you can't tell what project they're from, but you can tell like yeah, they're different from like just some hood nigga. You know, like when I lived in the projects, man, shit always happened, man. You know, shit always happens. Um, it comes with the territory of living there, you know. Like that's why I was saying, a lot of people out of my projects just started moving out the projects. You know, probably like 5 to 8 years ago. No, maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, people just started moving out that projects. My grandmother lived there since the 50s. She only moved into two places in that project. She moved to the new side and like the corner side. I don't know if that's the old side or the new side of JP. If you're from Boston, you know when I say JP. That's how you know what part of Jamaica playing. You could tell, okay, this man's from this part of Jamaica playing because this nigga says JP. You know, or the P. You know, it's just that's just how niggas is. I liked it. Let me tell you something. I always loved the project. I loved it when the old school niggas was there. These other people and stuff like that, it's weird. Their whole demeanor is kind of weird, and I remember I got kicked out because every time I always tell people all the time, whenever I had a warrant out, whenever I needed a hideout somewhere, I always hide out in the projects. If somebody's looking for me, or if I did some stupid shit, I'll hide out in the projects. Cause I can hide anywhere in a project. If I was broke, I'll go to the projects. It's different now because it's. Uh, I think this generation now is influenced by trap music. Just doing greasy shit to people and stuff like that. Like, yeah, niggas been doing greasy shit to people, like, but it's on some, like, when they do it, it's on some disrespectful shit. Like, they doing it just to do it. They not even trying to hide that shit. Like, them niggas is trying to embarrass you. Like, God rest my uncle soul, but before my uncle passed away, he was dating this girl, and it was his best friend's wife. It was some greasy shit, but my uncle tried to hide the shit. At least he can have that type of respect, that type of decent of respect. Like I always tell people all the time, like, yo, let me tell you something. When I used to do what I used to do with people's women, I try to hide it, and the reason why is just at least I have the more decency to hide it from you than to like, yo, do that shit publicly in your face and in front of people. Because when you do that shit, that means that you don't respect anybody. I never been like that towards people. I would never want to be like that towards people. You know, if I'm gonna do something foul like that, I'll hide it, and hopefully, you won't find out. At least I can do that. First of all, it's uncomfortable. Second of all, it's uncomfortable for the other person. You know. But you look at the Chicago like man demeanor now. Them niggas don't give a fuck. They want to fuck your girl and stuff, and think this shit is cool and funny. Ha 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 ha. We call the nigga's mother. Nah, nigga, you don't do no shit like that. Cause if the nigga shoots you, niggas gonna be like, oh yeah, he was a good guy. Nah, nigga, that shit he did wasn't no good shit. So it's just like that's why I said it's a Chicago. It's not a new old school Chicago demeanor because the old school Chicago, them old school Chicago niggas is them niggas was players back in the days. All them Chicago niggas back in the days, them two step niggas, them slick talking niggas, yeah, them niggas was players. Them niggas was real hustlers out there. Them and them New York niggas. The Midwest, I'm gonna say this: the niggas in the Midwest, those were the fly niggas. Those were the fly niggas. Like, I'm going to say this. Yeah, R. Kelly did what he did. But R. Kelly was getting all girls. Niggas was fucking niggas' mothers. That's how fly R. Kelly really was. First of all, the nigga could sing. He's the greatest R&B artist of all time. R&B singer, writer of all fucking time. He probably got more hits than anybody. He's just a pervert. Sex in the kitchen, sex weed, fucking seems like you're ready. What else? Jeep, nigga. The nigga got hits. He wrote for Lady Gaga, Michael Jackson, fucking H-Town, Aaliyah. Fucking, oh my God. This nigga's amazing. He's just a pervert. That's the only thing. And the thing about it, he beat those charges. That's the crazy thing about it. R. Kelly beat those charges. Like, honestly, like, if we really think about it, what the fuck is he really in jail for? What the fuck is he doing, like, 20 years for? Niggas don't know. Like, we don't know what R. Kelly's really in jail for. This is what we gotta look. This is what we have to think about. Like, yo, what is this nigga in jail for? I personally don't even know what the nigga is in jail for, But let's start the show. And welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins. How's everybody doing? Salute. I hope everybody's having a great day. We got two topics today, a subtopic, and we got a main topic. Subtopic is, give me 1 second, everyone. Dr. Umar's losing the school. Hopefully, we can have the Jamaican madman Kwame come up and explain about this Pan-African school that didn't work and why it didn't work. We know he don't like Dr. Umar, but why didn't this Pan-African school work? Didn't work, and excuse me. And is there a Pan-African school? We're gonna get it from the sources today, if he doesn't lie, or maybe even Shabaka, the OG Shabaka. That would be super dope today. But the main question is, are European Americans settlers or immigrants? The reason how I got that question was I was listening to the Charlie Kirk. I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I don't know how y'all. Let me tell you something. And this is to the white community. I do not know how y'all so gullible that you believe this motherfucker when he talks. We talk about IQ. We talk about education when y'all talk. But this nigga don't got neither or. Ooh, DJ X1's already starting early. He's saying that they're immigrants. I might have to believe in him and say, like, yo, I think they're immigrants too. You know? That has always been a weird question to me. Because they always call themselves settlers, but how can you settle somewhere where... Hold on, But how can you settle somewhere where something that is already built or something that was already here? Then second of all, you didn't build anything. Let me see something 1 second. I'm gonna put something in. They already got me on top. Don't share your values and still. So we're gonna listen to Charlie Kirk's stupid ass. But you cannot. Charlie, let me tell you something about Charlie Kirk. This is why I asked y'all the last question. Remember the question I asked y'all? I was like, are black Americans the most purest Americans out of everybody? Are we the purest Americans? And the reason why, because we don't bring no other culture. We only bring American culture. We bring and create American culture. All that barbaric, the fucking savagery, that shit comes from Europe. So where I was getting towards that, and this is why I always tell people all the time when I do shows, is I'm doing it for a reason. I do these shows for a reason. And sometimes it might be another show where, and I'm going to say this, there's nothing wrong with being an immigrant, there's nothing wrong with being an immigrant. Hold on. America has its own culture and was built by settlers, not immigrants. Cover the truth about immigrants and give me a second. Why did me? Ooh. So yeah, we gotta talk about certain things like that, man, because the reason why I always ask that, and you know what, we're gonna actually talk about that first. Let's talk about the main topic first, and we could dig into Dr. Umar last. Um, I want to say this: there is nothing wrong with being an immigrant. You know, coming from a different country and setting shop up here. One thing, let me tell you something. This is what Black Americans wanted y'all to do in the first place. But when we wanted y'all to do that in the first place, is to, as y'all want to do, talk about, is have solidarity. We've been talking about solidarity for ever since the '60s. That was the whole reason of y'all even coming to this country. It wasn't to escape oppression, is to create solidarity with Black Americans. You know, and at the end of the day, we told you, we've been saying this for a very long time, but y'all haven't got the message until shit got serious. This is why, and I'm gonna say this once again: you show how in politics you are. The Europeans are settlers, colonists, the kill. So this is Shabaka. Hey, yo, Shabaka, you want to come live? You want to get on live? You want to get on live? So if everybody don't know and you're new to this show, this is Shabaka, the Pan-African supremacist. To me, he will still always be a good friend and with bad intentions, just like an African. But but to me, I will always support whatever he believes in. So hey, Shabaka, would you like to get on live? I mean, would you like to get on the phone and talk? It's up to you, man. Or you can just stay in the chat and entertain as always. Either or, I think you're super dope anyway, so you can just jump on if you want. I just like I said, go. Shabaka, you never listen. What did I tell you to do last time? You said you wanted to get on and pause. You said you wanted to get on live and talk, and I said email me. Look in my description. My description has my email in it. You never came on, man. You know. But if you want to get on, you can. If you want to get on live, definitely, I'll let you get online. There's no problem with that. You know me, I always ask questions. Keep it in mind. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, DJ XY, I know. We know. We have to deal with Shabaka all the time. Settlers, colonists, the kill, the true. So let me ask you a question, Shabaka. If you consider them settlers colonists, why wouldn't they be immigrants? Because they immigrated over here from Europe. Didn't they immigrate over here from another country? Isn't this not their home? Or are we going to use they are a $5 Indian and that's what makes them settlers? I don't think they're settlers. I think they're immigrants. I think most white supremacists is immigrants. You know, we can even kind of say the red natives are immigrants. But I give them the reasonable adult of them being settlers because don't forget they have been here for thousands of years just like us. You know? Yeah, real talk. And I'm going to say this. That's how we should look at certain things. You know? Mm, but yeah, I consider them immigrants. They immigrated over here, you know? Keep in mind that, yeah, but thanks, DJ. So hold on. There's no such thing as black Americans. The Europeans own America and are using Africans for wealth. We are colonial subjects. Nothing else. We make whites rich, nothing else. You know why, Shabaka, we make them rich? Because people like you. People like you don't want to stay on code. Y'all never stay. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. European Africanism never. I mean, European Africanism confused everything. It confused the way how people think, the way how people move. Instead of moving with, like, you know, fighting back and guerrilla warfare, you want to give us this African bullshit. I'm still on that bullshit. You already know I'm still on bullshit. And I have to tell you, that's why I always tell you, yo, y'all niggas is feeling like fucking Marcus Garvey, my nigga. Y'all failures like Marcus Garvey. Like, yeah, we could talk about all the great things that Marcus Garvey has done, but he's a failure. Like, let's all stay on code and let's say, yeah, Marcus Garvey failed Black America. He failed the Black diaspora. Let's personally be honest. He failed. He's a failure. That's why I look at you. I was like, yo, why the fuck are y'all like? Why are y'all celebrating this nigga who failed in America? Know who y'all remind me of? Y'all remind me of the Confederate rebels. Niggas them niggas always will raise that fucking Confederate flag. Oh yeah, we Confederates. We used to be fucking, what is it? What they always say? They used to be fucking some dumb shit, some dumb losers, we used to be Aryan brothers and all this other stupid shit, and them niggas is failures. They lost. They lost. And niggas is still raising that fucking loser ass flag. That's how y'all Pan-Africans is. Y'all still raising that loser ass flag. That red, yellow, and green celebrating fucking things. What is it? Fucking Kwanzaa, my nigga. Like, let's personally be honest. Niggas don't even really celebrate Christmas like that, my nigga. Niggas just look at that shit as a day off. Niggas got bigger things to solve, my nigga. This is what you got. You don't understand, Shabaka. You worried about the white man, and black people are doing great things over here. But you don't want to be involved. You don't want to put in the effort. You don't want to be a part of the good part of history. You want to confuse. You ain't better than. I'm going to say this. You ain't no better than the white supremacy, my nigga. I got to be personally honest with you. You had a chance to be part of the right page of history. You choose to demonize. Demonize people who don't even have beef with you. We don't have beef with you. We don't want nothing from Pan-Africanism. You fucked up so bad that we have to show y'all real true colors. We already know these fucking white supremacists is fucking devils. We been knew that. You, my man, you just making up excuses for these niggas to be losers. I'm just being personally honest. We could talk about all the great things that Marcus Garvey does and this and that and solidarity, but this nigga talk about everybody, we need to go to Africa. This nigga never stepped a foot in Africa a day in his fucking life. But you want us all to go to Africa. Knowing that Africa is an underdeveloped country, they ain't got shit in that country. They still got the same bullshit that they have in this country. You want us to go over there. Marcus Garvey is not. There's no failure. Pan Africanism it still exists and it's growing. Yeah, y'all always say that shit. That shit is always growing. But you know where it's not growing at? It's not growing in America, my nigga. Where it's really need to be important at. Niggas don't believe you. Niggas don't believe you. Shabaka isn't even a real African. a real bad African wants to unite all the melanin people all over the globe, regardless. That's facts. It's facts. But this is what we're saying, DJ X1. We're fighting. We're the only ones we're the only ones that really are fighting white supremacy. We are the only ones that's fighting racism. All these niggas who came over here on this country and stuff like that, they all have some type of European fucking culture. We don't have European culture. You know, we probably might eat corned beef hash here and there, my nigga, but other than that, what European culture that we have? Everything that America has, we created just about. That's why when I said let's do this. Let's say that they are settlers. What type of culture do they really have? What culture do we know about these settlers? They are incest babies. They're murderers. They're crazies. They don't know how to stay clean. They're dirty. They left their country because, like, yo, they were probably fucking murderers. Or there was something wrong with them. Marcus Tariq is our agent trying. See, you worried about Tariq Nasheed, but we're having a real conversation, Shabaka. Let's scratch out Tariq Nasheed. We're talking about Pan-Africanism. You're selling Pan-Africanism right now. And you're talking about fucking Tariq Nasheed. This is how sad and pathetic Pan-Africanism is. Y'all are fucking pathetic. And I have to say that because you know why? Y'all always go back to Tariq Nasheed. We're asking y'all about Pan-Africanism. You talking about Tariq Nasheed. A nigga, what does Tariq Nasheed always say? A nigga with 11th grade education. You talking about this nigga. Y'all niggas is supposed to be fucking educators. Scholars. You talking about a nigga who only completed the 11th grade, my nigga. This is sad, man. This is sad. This is sad coming from a Pan-Africanist. So how would you think we would be on our side when we really battle the enemy? When we really fight for these policies? You're not gonna be on the right side of history. Y'all will never be on the right side of history. Even when slavery came, y'all was on the wrong side of history. Y'all was on the side of the niggas who sold us. Until this day, we still fight for y'all funky asses. That's why I stopped fighting for y'all. Timberlands, you buy those silly ass and everything you do, you make the white man richer. What do black in America? Tariq took the bag and see again. You're selling Pan-Africanism. You're talking about fucking Tariq Nasheed. You talk about Timberlands. We were just talking about Timberlands. We was just mixing and mingling. And right now, we're going to say Timberlands is from New York. I have to prove it. How you from New York? You gotta be you probably one of them Africans in fucking Harlem right now. Yo, you better hope I don't get a hand on some money. Cause I'm gonna kick all y'all niggas out of Harlem and make that shit black again. All jokes aside, I'm gonna buy off all that fucking property, my nigga. I'm kicking all y'all Africans out. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I love immigrants. I swear to God, I love y'all to death. But you know what? I was driving today, and like 4 of y'all motherfuckers almost hit me today. I think some of y'all motherfuckers might need to go back because y'all gonna end up killing somebody one day. Y'all gonna kill a few people. We don't want to hear how y'all are hard worker and stuff. No, y'all niggas pimp the system. Y'all niggas is lazy. I'm gonna be personally honest. You know, like I said, I love all of y'all, but at the end of the day, I can't keep on doing this silly shit with y'all. Y'all niggas talk about y'all harder workers than black Americans. I'm sorry. Y'all haven't built a fucking... Y'all can't even build a fucking country. And y'all started before us. We don't want to hear about the white man. We don't want to hear about the white supremacy and shit like that. We want to hear about you. What your country built. What your country is doing. You know what? You know why? Because we want you to achieve. Black America wants y'all to achieve. Africans and the people of the Caribbeans are organizing. Y'all been organizing since the 70s, my nigga. Y'all niggas ain't gonna do shit. Y'all gonna stay in America and work these fucking floor sweeping jobs. And that's all y'all gonna do. We are taking our land back from... No, you're not. Shut the fuck up with that Chewbacca. Y'all niggas not taking nothing. The only thing y'all niggas is taking the bushmeat and the mud hut, my nigga. That's it. And I'm sorry to be cruel to you, but my nigga. Y'all can... Yo. Y'all are only... But I'm gonna say this about Africans. Y'all are only barbaric to your people. Y'all are only savages to your people. All those genocides that y'all did to y'all own people because they were from a different tribe. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. Let me tell you something. Black Americans know Tariq Nasheed has been said that, like, yeah, we all have African DNA. Everybody has African DNA. Even us. But we had an ethnogenesis. We started a different culture. Our culture was white. Let's say we were from Africa. All that shit was taken from us. That shit was wiped off from us. So how the fuck we supposed to know something that we don't know? We've been built communities. We've been built communities. We've been built communities, inventions. You know why our names aren't on inventions? The reason why our names wasn't on inventions is because we were considered as property. How can somebody own property if they're property? Yeah, that is his leader. He's doing the same Dr. Umar shit. Yes, that is his leader. You are right, DJ X1. That's that man's leader. That's that man's leader. We're worrying about the real cause, the white supremacy. We're worried about white supremacy. Y'all worried about the wrong things. We gave y'all a chance to fight white supremacies. All y'all cared about was fucking Kwanzaa and fucking Pan-African fucking studies. That's what y'all cared about. Shit that niggas don't even want to go to school for. What the fuck a black man's going to school to learn about fucking Pan-Africanism? Are you fucking serious? Nigga, if anybody ever, let me tell you something. If I was in school right now and them niggas gave me Pan African studies, I will quit. I will drop out of school. I will fucking drop out of school that day and say, like, yo, y'all niggas could eat 10 bags of baby dicks, nigga. I wish a nigga would give me some Pan African studies. What the fuck? I want to know this. Shabaka, I'm going to give you my email. I want you to call this number, all right? Since you don't want to do shit, I will do this, all right? Give me a second. This nigga really said, yo, Kwame's crazy, man. That's my email, Shabaka. Email me, say, yo, this is Shabaka. I need you to do that. We need to talk. You can fucks with your boy, man, for at least for 10 minutes, my nigga. Come on. Niggas want to hear your voice. Niggas want to hear your voice. The live chat want to hear your voice, my nigga. You know? Oh, man. I'm beat, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm very beat. Let's see if Shabaka got on. You know, he be bullshitting. Yeah, he be bullshitting. I don't think he's going to jump on everyone. But yeah, everyone. It just... This is the shit that we got to talk about. You know, because we're going to ask him about Pan-Africanism. He's going to sell us some Pan-Africanism today. You know? That's if he gets on, you know. Yeah, I don't think this motherfucker's getting on. But I'm going to say this. But let's be personally honest. Until this nigga even talks, I'm gonna throw on a video, everyone. All right. You know how Shabaka is. Shabaka be on that bullshit. You know. So we're gonna hear what Charlie Kirk said.
Not bring people into the country that don't share your values and still be a country. You could be something, I mean, but you cannot bring people into the country that don't share your values and still be a country. You could be something else, you just won't be a country.
How do you think this country was, a lot of people, this country was made by people coming from different places?
Good point. So were we made by settlers or immigrants?
Made by, what's the difference?
Think about it. Ever asked that question before? It's okay, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but there's a huge difference. A settler does what? Start something new. An immigrant comes to something already built. Which one?
That's the question. Are they settlers or they immigrants? First of all, when they tried to build this country by themselves, they couldn't do it. They started eating each other. They started eating each other. So this is the question again, everyone. I'm going to ask it again. Are Europeans settlers or are they immigrants? And this is coming from you know what? I'm helping y'all Caribbean people out right now. I'm going to say I'm helping y'all out. Caribbeans, Asians, Jews, Africans, I'm going to help y'all out. What did the white man really create? What did they create? Oh yeah, Like and subscribe, and also share this podcast if you can. And also, I'll put my super chat in there. So if you if you hit me with a super chat, your name will pop up on the screen, which is the question that you have to ask, that you want to ask. You can do that, and let's get back. I'll keep on saying it through the show and stuff. So yeah, definitely sending donations and stuff. That's another thing. Yeah. So, what did the Europeans build? If it wasn't anything that's not negative, what did they build? We can't say they didn't do the air conditioning because they couldn't do that shit by themselves. We can't say electricity. Black people were already fucking with the electricity before them. Like, what the fuck did they build? We built the fucking car, probably. Yeah. What did they build? They didn't build no infrastructure. They didn't even build no infrastructure in Europe. So how did they come over to America and build something? These are the questions that you need to be asking.
One started America.
The padded office.
The settlers did.
So we're not a nation of immigrants, we're a nation of settlers. And yes, we have used immigration as a tool to enrich the American experiment because a lot of people assimilated. The Irish did, the Polish did, the Italians did, the Germans did. I mean, but you cannot bring people in.
This is the bullshit he's on. This is the shit he's on, man. I'm just being personally honest. You know, you can't believe people like this, like him, man. First of all, this nigga got dolphin teeth. I won't believe any nigga who got dolphin teeth. That's saying that they don't got no dental insurance. You know? And the shit that you're doing right now, you should be having free dental insurance. You know, so that's one. Two, yes, the difference is settlers build stuff. But Europeans didn't build shit. They needed help. They needed help by the Aboriginals. So how the fuck did they build anything? So are they settlers or are they immigrants? We don't know what the fuck they built. If we're calling ourselves the foundation of Black America and we're the foundation of this country, what the fuck did they build? Europeans didn't build shit. They couldn't even build shit in their own country. They needed the Moors. They needed the fucking Moors. That's telling you something. And like, I get it. He's fighting for his race because his race is dying out. Yeah, the white race is dying. If it's not getting killed by their sons, by the son, it's getting killed by a fucking family member. Or a disease, some weird disease. You know? So it's sad. It's sad for them, man. They're in a tight situation. They try to hold on to everything. They have to. Why you think this nigga Elon Musk is making women fucking single parents? This nigga's out here making niggas single parents out here. This billionaire, and y'all niggas is saluting this nigga. Y'all niggas must be I'ma say this. Y'all must be the most craziest motherfuckers ever. If y'all saluting Elon Musk. He's the worst father of them all. I'd rather leave my kid with a fucking crackhead before I leave my kid with fucking Elon Musk. I'm sorry, but he is not a good fucking father. They can't do anything on their own. Facts. Facts. They always needed our help. They could talk all this Capital board per capita bullshit, nigga. We don't give a fuck We know y'all niggas ain't smart enough to build a fucking country yourselves. It is what it is, nigga. Y'all not smart enough. Then the craziest shit I heard was from Nick Fuentes talk about Africans, and I'm defending Africans. I have to defend Africans on this. He said Africans can't build anything. They had a hard time building a wheel, but them niggas taught y'all niggas how to clean yourselves. Y'all wasn't cleaning y'all fucking periods. Y'all wasn't taking baths. Niggas had to teach y'all how to take a shower. Take a bath. Most basic thing ever. Till this day, y'all niggas still have problems taking baths. Yeah. Let's talk about some of y'all. Some of y'all just like, yeah, we fucking with the black folks. Yeah, y'all niggas gotta take baths, you know? Real talk. We can't keep on doing that. We can't be like, oh yeah, we gotta demonize the black diaspora. And then let me tell y'all something. Y'all Africans didn't have no pushback on Nick Fuentes when he talked about y'all niggas. When he talked about y'all country, y'all niggas didn't say shit. This is why I don't respect Africans and Pan-Africans. That nigga ain't even white. That nigga's a Mexican. And that nigga's disrespecting y'all. He think he white. Cause his mother fucked a fucking gardener and had you nigga, and them niggas, yo. Let me not go too deep into this shit. But Charlie Kirk isn't the best person to listen to, my nigga. Especially not about no fucking history. I'm being personally honest.
According to the United States Census Bureau, the largest ethnic group in the United States of America is German. In 2019, a whopping 43...
Hold up. What did he just say?
According to the United States Census Bureau, the largest ethnic group in the United States of America is German.
Does that make them immigrants? This is strike two. Strike two is you already had a homeland. It was Germany. It was Germany. All of a sudden you claiming America. See how you're showing them love even though they always talk shit about us. Yeah, I know. Let me tell you what it is, DJ X1. This isn't for Shabaka. The love that I give is not for Shabaka. It's for the people who really actually fuck with us. Because there are immigrants that fuck with Black America. There are Caribbeans that fuck with Black Americans. Africans that fuck with Black Americans. Asians that fuck with Black Americans. Latinos that fuck with Black Americans. That's why I can never be biased. Because there are people that do fuck with us. But I do have to show the ugly side of everything. You can't just talk shit about Black Americans and only talk about the 10% of the nasty shit that you see. But be like, oh yeah, all we Africans is doing good out here. You only talk about the 3% of Africans that are doing good. All y'all other niggas is cleaning floors and wiping niggas' asses. Let's personally be honest. Most of y'all niggas is not nurses out here. The ones that are nurses, they're the worst. They're the worst. I'm being personally honest. Y'all are the worst. If y'all boycott, don't take care of another black person, it's not going to be a big deal, nigga. And the reason why I'm going to say that, because there's not that many good of y'all. Y'all just going to be following the white supremacists. Everyone here has say homeland. Africa is ours. We are stolen African. No, I'm not no fucking stolen African. You're a stolen African. If you want to be a stolen African, by all means, be a stolen African. But don't forget, those people that you're trying to go back home with sold your ass to this country. Them motherfuckers sold you to this country for some alcohol and some fucking hay, nigga. Some cow hay, nigga. So if this is what you want to do, Shabaka, we can fuck it. We can do this. You don't think those Africans were exploiting us? You don't think Africans was exploiting our culture, our lineage in America? Now they're saying it's theirs? This is what happened when you be too nice to people. They start saying dumb shit like, oh, our ancestors helped y'all create fucking hip hop. We taught y'all niggas how to dress. Y'all niggas till this day don't know how to dress. You'll never catch me in a dress dashiki, nigga. The fuck out of here. And shout out to Africa, but I'm not wearing no dress dashiki, nigga. You gotta be out of your fucking mind. You gotta be out of your fucking mind if you think I'm gonna put on that bullshit. Do I look like Dr. Umar to y'all niggas? Y'all can't pay me to wear that shit.
In 2019, a whopping 43 million Americans described themselves as being of full or partial German ancestry, with Pennsylvania alone accounting for 3.5 million. So, there is no doubt that at some point in time, there were a lot of German immigrants crossing the Atlantic to reach America. But what exactly was the reason? What made so many Germans decide to leave all they'd ever known and owned behind to start a new life in the United States of America? The first notable wave of German settlers in the American colonies came near the end of the 17th century when William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, invited religious outcasts from Germany to come and settle in his colony. Many, facing religious persecution back home, eagerly accepted the invitation. For the following decades, German immigration to the colony would steadily increase. For the most part, these settlers were emigrating from the more southwestern regions of Germany, such as Baden, Württemberg, Palatinate, and the Rhineland. But they would not be the only Germans to make their way to Pennsylvania. By midway through the 1700s, these settlers had founded multiple cities, such as Germantown, Skipack, and Conestoga. Upwards of 65,000 Germans had only recently made their way to the welcoming colony by the 1770s. But unfortunately, the influx of German immigrants would drastically decrease as the colonies inched closer and closer to the Revolutionary War. Numerous of the tens of thousands of settlers had left Germany not just for religious freedom, but also to flee from the effects of the 30 Years' War and subsequent conflicts that plagued Germany.
That's immigration right there.
Scale war.
That is immigration. Niggas do that now. Niggas from Africa do that. They flee in fucking war. These niggas is fleeing war. Listen to this nigga again.
As the colonies inched closer and closer to the Revolutionary War. Numerous of the tens of thousands of settlers had left Germany not just for religious freedom, but also to flee from the effects of the 30 Years' War and subsequent conflicts that plagued.
Don't that sound crazy? Don't that sound crazy when I say, yo, they're immigrants? You see what's this difference between me and you, Shabaka? I fight white supremacy. You fight another black man. That's the difference between me and you. I'm really with the fight. I'm really with the shits. Yeah, I'll fuck around and joke with you and shit like that, but you know what? I'm really for the cause. I'm really for this cause. This is an educational moment for you right now. You know why this is educational for you? You so worried about Tariq Nasheed that you're not even preparing for the real war. Facts. Salute to DJ X1. Shabaka, you're not even prepared for the... Shabaka, if shit goes down right now, would you be ready, my man? Would you be ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? This is why I do these shows, Shabaka, because I want you to be ready, man. I don't want you to be like, yo, left behind, man. It's cool. Yo, I'm going to say this. It's all right if you want to do the Pan-Africanism bullshit. But I'm just saying this. Hold on 1 second. The mic. I'm just saying this, Shabaka. I need you to prepare for the real war. Shabaka. You're losing the conversation. You're losing the vision. You got a vision. What did my man say off of Willie Dynamite? You gotta visualize, man. Visualize. You gotta visualize what's really going on, Shabaka. Your war has never been with foundational Black America. Your war and all the other shit that you have done should have never been with war against us. Yes, we are fighting. We're the one that's confusing and distracting their system. We're the ones that fight in their system. We're the ones that is fucking up their system. It's us. Why you think they're in an outrage right now? It's not the immigrants. It's not the motherfuckers. It's not the Jews. It's us. It always has been us. Facts. Facts. This is why I play these certain type of videos for you, Shabaka. When I played the thing about the COINTELPRO and Pan-Africanism, I wanted you to peep something. Because remember the first thing I asked you? The first thing I asked you is who funded Pan-Africanism? You said the community. You in TV land? Nah. I'm in wartime. I have always been in wartime, Shabaka. You always went against us. You always went against the grain, the grassroots, the people who always defend you. All we had asked y'all for the past 80 years is what? Be on our side when it comes to these policies and these tangibles. This is all we said. When y'all got y'all little funky asses over here, y'all ungrateful motherfucking asses, when we help y'all get laws and policies because they wasn't trying to give it to y'all, who you think was on your side, Shabaka? And you can't even admit it. This is how bad it is. This is how down bad you and Dr. Umar is. Pan-Africanism can't save us. It can't. I'm sorry. Once you start to realize that shit is not gonna save us, you're gonna understand where it's gonna be like, yo, what's the next step? What do we gotta do? Like I'm being real talk. I'm really giving you some game, Shabaka, and you're older than me. Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment, and also share this podcast. That really will help the algorithm. And definitely donate. I hit the super chat on the bottom, and also if you have Venmo, I have Venmo and Cash App. So check in the descriptions and help your boy out so we can save up for some more projects. More projects. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Oh yeah, if you super chat, it'll pop up. It'll pop up on the screen. And definitely leave a note. But yeah, it's real talk, Shabaka. Hey yo, Shabaka, donate, man. You here every day, man. Donate, and I I answer your questions all the time. So definitely, I want you to donate, man. Definitely donate 3 times. Donate once every 3 months, my nigga. Do that at least. Jesus Christ, this nigga. Let me tell y'all something. Shabaka be on here all the time, and I like when Shabaka's on here. This nigga never donates. Shabaka, you're a Pan African. You supposed to be having money, especially you live in New York. Get money, New York, my nigga. I call all New York money a hustle city. So I know you got some money in your pocket, Shabaka. So definitely, send in some donations and hop on this live chat like I've been telling you to do. I mean, this volume thing, so I can send you my the voice number. But yeah, back to what I was saying. This is why I do these videos and stuff. It's not to like demonize white people or black people or Pan Africans. It's personally, it's most of this shit is an educational thing. Like it definitely is a little takeaway from the world sometimes too. Oh yeah, also too, everybody, I got a new light. So this light right here that you love will be gone, and I'm gonna have a new light. And I bought a 4K camera, so we're done with the 1080. The 1080 will be gone by probably Monday. So salute to everybody who was doing the Cash App and stuff. This is what I've been doing with the money, is just updating the equipment as well. I still been spending my money on the equipment, but the money y'all have been sending, I've been upgrading the equipment and stuff as well too. So if you do see something different, it's because of y'all. And salute and thank everybody who was giving out donations and stuff too. So yeah, we got DJ X1. We're gonna have a new light. Yeah. Yo, I can't wait to see it. It's lit too, man. I spent a little penny. I spent a good penny on it, and I bought a 4K webcam. So yeah, we all gonna be in 4K. So. Honestly, I'm gonna say this before we get back into this video. I do want to say, I appreciate everybody for actually just being on this show, and even the people who do talk and stuff like that. Like that's why I always tell people all the time, like, just email me if you want to jump online and say your piece and stuff like that. I won't interrupt. I will ask you questions, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, well you're wrong. Da, 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 da. If it's just blasphemous, then I'm gonna have to be like, yeah, nah, my G. That's not true. Just say your piece. And I might interrupt you. I was like, may I say this? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but blah, 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 this and that. But salute to everybody, man. All y'all who was giving out money, man. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But again, let's get back into the video.
Germany,
I'll be right back.
Seeing such a large-scale war then break out in the New World, the dream of a new, safe, and promising home was shattered for many. For those who had already arrived in the colonies, though, life was not horrible. Though challenging, it seems that success in the New World was a true possibility for the hard-working immigrants. According to the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, the typical German immigrant was a poor farmer or artisan who arrived around 1750 with a wife and 2 children. They were most likely in debt for the passage across the Atlantic, but had family or friends already settled in America. They were affiliated with the Lutheran or Reformed Church, but only loosely committed to an organized religion. Records indicate that they became prosperous members of the community. However, many were too poor to pay the transatlantic passage, so as many as 1/2 to 2/3 of German immigrants came to Pennsylvania as indentured servants or redemptioners, as Germans called them. These redemptioners were essentially contracted servants.
Hold up. Listen to what they said again.
2 children. They were most and true possibility for the hardworking immigrants. According to the Historical Society of Pennsylvania,
Watch this,
a typical
listen.
German immigrant was a poor farmer or artisan who arrived around 1750 with a wife and 2 children. They were most likely in debt for the passage across the Atlantic, but had family or friends already settled in America. They were affiliated with the Lutheran or Reformed Church, but only loosely committed to an organized religion. Records indicate that they became prosperous members of the community. However, many were too poor to pay the transatlantic passage, so as many as 1/2 to 2/3 of German immigrants came to Pennsylvania as indentured servants or redemptioners, as Germans called them. These redemptioners were essentially contract.
So if you don't know what an indentured servant is somebody who is basically paying off a debt. You're just working off a debt. That's all. The Irish has done it. They say that they were slaves. They were not slaves. They were indentured servants. You know, so don't let them fool you when they say shit like that.
Did servants for generally between 2 to 7 years who would be forced to work for a particular employer to make up for the debts they owed and had incurred from their trip to America. And by the time the German influx had slowed, there were already, according to some historians, nearly 75,000 Germans living in Pennsylvania, and many others had immigrated to the rest of the colonies or would come later on. There had been an almost constant trickle of Germans entering the New World ever since the founding of Jamestown. And even some of the German Hessian soldiers that had been employed by the British during the American Revolution had decided to stay in the United States at the end of the war. During the early 1800s, more Germans had begun to make their way to America, though not in as large of waves due to famine back home. Others would come a few decades later due to the political strife in Germany, and during the 1850s, roughly 1 million Germans arrived in the United States, making the total number of German-born Americans by the 1860s around 1.3 million. In the 1870s, over 100,000 Germans from Russia found their way to America after the Tsarist government stripped away privileges that had been granted to German farmers in Russia hundreds of years prior. The next decade would outshine all the rest, though, as around 1.5 million Germans came to the U.S. just in the 1880s alone. This would be the peak, though, as the number of German-born Americans dropped from 2.9 million to 2.3 million between 1890 and 1910. Immigration had gone down drastically, and in 1920, the number had fallen even further, now sitting at 1.7 million. And even with the side effects of displacement caused by World War II, Americans born in Germany still only added up to 1.2 million after the start of the conflict. Germans would continue to immigrate over the following decades, as they still do today, but the number of them coming to America has nevertheless dropped remarkably. In 1990, only 58 million Americans claimed to be German or partially German, even though others could be linked to German ancestors. But still, even if the number of Germans coming into America had already reached its high point, they have undoubtedly had a huge impact on the country. And it does seem that German remains the most dominant ethnic group in the country. The reasons for their migration are multiple. One reason that is often overlooked, though didn't account for the first wave of immigrants, was the stories told by Germans who had already made their new lives in America with great success. From Gottfried Duden's book to simple letter correspondence between German immigrants and those they knew back home, people in Germany began to hear about the opportunities and freedoms that the colonies and later United States had to offer. Simple word of mouth is often all it takes. But still, there were many other factors that led to Germans crossing the ocean. For many, the feudal system back home left them yearning for more independence, as did other restrictions that had been placed on some, such as limits on marriages due to a fear of overpopulation and a worsening economy. But the economy was already bad enough for numerous people. High taxes were a constant burden, and making a respectable living just seemed more likely in the New World, with news of lands being given to new settlers and industrialization later opening the door for more jobs outside of the typical farming. Furthermore, some communities in the German state.
Hey, y'all want to try something? DJ X1, Shabaka? Hit a one if you do. Y'all want to talk to each other? Y'all can. Hey, yo, Shabaka. Hit the email. Say, hey, this is Shabaka. Shabaka's scared, never mind.
States were eager to get rid of the lower class anyway, and would even offer to cover the costs of the journey to America if the immigrants promised to never return home. Other German men left illegally due to military service requirements, while more fled famine and frequent wars. And of course, as demonstrated by many of the original immigrants to the New World, religious freedom was often an important motivator. At the time, many were essentially told what to believe in, Catholicism or Protestantism, for example, by each monarch. For those with strong alternative beliefs who were unwilling to comply, fleeing the country became a way for them to practice their faith in peace. Not only did the American colonies have freedom of religion, but as stated earlier, the founder of Pennsylvania himself had even invited these religious outcasts to settle in his colony. Of course, many reasons exist as to why people of any country immigrate to another, and this is far from an exhaustive list, though it is some of the main explanations that have been discovered. Without German immigrants, for example, Americans may not share the tradition of decorated Christmas trees, and the Brooklyn Bridge wouldn't have been built without a German immigrant engineer, business owners, military generals, scientists. There are dozens upon dozens of names of German immigrants who took the journey across the Atlantic and changed the future of the...
This is what I'm talking about. Who are those components they stole those from?
colonies and the United States. Today, Germans still immigrate to the U.S. on occasion, but more significantly is the lasting effects of those who had already come. 6 states are believed to have over 30% of their total populations be made up by full or partial German Americans. Another 7 have an at least 20% ethnic German population, and of all 50 states, not a single one has a German population that makes up less than 4.5% of the state's entire population. Possibly one of the most impressive parts about this is that most immigrants from the German states have assimilated almost, if not entirely, into German American culture and identity, meaning that there really hasn't been an intentional preservation of German identity in America, though some German heritage societies and communities exist. For the most part, it's all thanks to the millions of people who braved the waters to start a new life in the United States that have made so much of America's roots German.
is what I'm talking about. Is this right or wrong? Right or wrong? With business, there's no such thing as right or wrong. I mean, there's no such thing as truth. There's a such thing as always right or wrong. So it's right if it makes more money, it's wrong if it doesn't. But truth is thrown out the window. There's no such thing as truth. The truth is money.
Silk and European exploration and the colonization of the Americas was mainly fueled by the necessity for resources and wealth. The Orient, also known as the East, with exotic products such as pottery, silk, and species, soon became a magnet to European traders. The trading route via the Silk Road, however, was under threat by the middle of the 15th century due to the rise in the power of the Ottoman Turks and the impairment of the Mongol Empire. At the same time, the development in shipbuilding and navigation made it possible for longer and further to travel. This helped to secure the trading route with Asia, and unexpectedly led to the exploration of a new land, which is later known as the Americas. European discovery of the Americas. In 1492, while on expeditions to find new trade routes from Europe to Asia, Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer, accidentally discovered a new world that possessed all the natural wealth which the Europeans sought so eagerly. This new world, or later known as the Americas, is the continents of the Western Hemisphere, including North America, which covers Central America and the Caribbean islands, and South America. Before the arrival of European explorers, the Americas were home to tens of millions of native peoples that are now known collectively as American Indians or Native Americans.
Or black people.
With great deposits of gold and other minerals, as well as vast plains, valleys, and mountains, this new land was viewed by the Europeans as an enormous wilderness area with great economic potential, and thus became the land of dreams for those who were longing for resources and wealth. This period of exploration and discovery soon became an international race of major European powers, Spain, France, and England, to increase their wealth and establish colonies around the world. Spanish Empire in the Americas. The first European country to conquer and colonize the New World was Spain. By 1512, the larger Caribbean islands were occupied by the Spanish, with the first Spanish town established on the island of Hispaniola, and Santo Domingo becoming the first capital of Spain's New World possessions. Other areas then settled by the Spanish were Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. Spanish conquistadors then sailed from the island harbors to explore the coasts and penetrate the continents. In 1519 to 1521, they conquered the Aztec Empire in Mexico, and a few years later took control of the Inca Empire and Peru. After growing rich from vast deposits of gold and silver in Mexico and Peru, Spain organized further expeditions to the surrounding areas, and soon settled most of Central America and South America, except for Brazil, which was colonized by the Portuguese. Other conquistadors ventured north into the southern parts of what is now the United States. In 1562, northern Florida was settled by a group of French Protestants, Huguenots, forcing the Spanish to launch an expedition led by the explorer Pedro Menendez de Aviles in 1565. Most of the French colonists were killed, and a Spanish fort was built on the site of what is now St. Augustine. Later in the 16th century, Spain began colonizing the region north of Mexico. In 1598, a group of Spanish settlers arrived in the New Mexico-Arizona area, and the city of Santa Fe was founded in 1610. During the 1700s, Spain managed to colonize other outposts in North America, Texas, and California. After all, Spain possessed the largest land area of the colonial empires in the New World, including several islands in the West Indies, all of Mexico, most of Central America, most of South America, and what are now Florida, California, and the U.S. Southwest. The English colonies in the Americas. England also took part in the exploration and colonization of the Americas, and their most significant establishment proved to be the 13 colonies along North America's Atlantic coastline. In 1606, just a few months after King James I granted charters to the London Company and the Plymouth Company to establish permanent colonial settlements in North America, 3 ships were sent by the London Company to what is now Virginia. In 1607, they reached the Chesapeake Bay and headed about 60 miles up the James River, where they built the first permanent colony called Jamestown. The second successful English settlement in America was the Plymouth colony in what is now Massachusetts in 1620 by the Pilgrims. Following the success of the Jamestown and Plymouth colonies, colonies were gradually established by the English in the region that became known as New England. Massachusetts Bay, another settlement established in 1629, was the landing place of the Mayflower and the Pilgrims. As Massachusetts prospered and expanded, the settlers sought the new colonies in New England. New Hampshire was another piece of New England to be formed in 1632. Connecticut and Rhode Island were formed in 1635 and 1636, respectively, for people to have the opportunity to live and worship in accordance with their beliefs. Today, New England also includes Maine and Vermont. In the Middle Colonies, New York was originally colonized by the Dutch in 1626 with the name New Netherland, but then became the English colony in 1664. This colony also included the first permanent settlement in New Jersey. Delaware, as part of the Swedish colony in New Sweden, was founded in 1638 and then became an English colony in 1664. In 1680, the Quakers settled Pennsylvania, forming the last piece of the Middle Colonies. In the Southern Colonies, the English settled Maryland to the north of Virginia in 1634 and Carolina in 1653, later split into North Carolina and South Carolina in 1729. Georgia Colony was established in 1732 as a buffer zone between the British colonies and Spanish settlements in Florida. By the 17th century, the English had taken the lead in colonizing North America with the formation of the 13 colonies, which later became the 13 original states of the United States of America.
Damn.
The French colonies in the Americas. France, one of the 2 northern Atlantic kingdoms besides England, began sending ships to explore and colonize the Americas in the 17th century. In North America, France established a large colony called New France. Seeing the potential for fur trading, the founder of Quebec in 1608, Samuel de Champlain, attempted to explore the region and to build up the French fur trade with the help of the Huron Indians. 3 years later, he established the beginning of a settlement on Huron Island, which is today the site of Montreal. In 1682, René Robert Cavelier, the most famous of all the explorers, had his expedition descend the Mississippi River.
See all that help that they getting? That's saying that they couldn't do it by themselves, so how you call them settlers? They are immigrants.
From the Illinois Territory to the Gulf of Mexico, and later claimed the entire territory for France. Many other French permanent settlements in North America were founded, including Detroit, St. Louis, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. Down to the Caribbean islands in South America, by 1664, France controlled 14 islands in the Caribbean, with the principal possessions including Saint Domingue, now Haiti, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Dominica. On the northeast coast of South America, after numerous changes in control alternating between France, Britain, the Dutch, the Netherlands, and Portugal, the colony of French Guiana was finally confirmed as French in 1817. European migration to the United States and South America. During the colonial era, millions of people left Europe and immigrated to the Americas, mostly in the United States and South America, seeking either economic opportunities or religious freedom. From 1815 to 1865, thousands of migrants sailed mainly from Northern and Western Europe to America due to crop failure. At that time, all of Ireland was part of the UK, and most of the migrants were Irish, unskilled labor coming to America to avoid starvation. Also, half of 5 million German coming to the US became former settlers in some areas that are now cities such as Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. The influx of immigrants resulted in competition for jobs, religious discrimination, and protest across the country. In the 1850s, the anti-immigrant, anti-Catholic American Party, also called the Know Nothings, attempted to put a curb on immigration, and even won several governorships and legislative seats in the presidential election of 1856. Following the Civil War, rapid industrialization and urbanization from 1880 to 1920 made the immigration situation a bigger wave. The majority of more than 20 million immigrants were from Central, Eastern, and Southern Europe, with different motivations such as job opportunities and freedom of religion. In addition, many Africans were brought to America and sold into slavery. The Opium Wars of the mid-19th century between Great Britain and China put China in debt, and many Chinese left the country to find work. As a result, Asian immigrants, mainly from China, crossed the Pacific to join the California Gold Rush. The flare-up of World War I eased the trend of immigration. In 1917, Congress enacted legislation in which immigrants over 16 years old were required to pass a literacy test, and immigration quotas were established in the early 1920s. Later, a system preferred immigrants from Western Europe over immigrants from Asia, called the Immigration Act of 1924, restricted entry to 2% of the total number of people of each nationality in America. As a result of the global depression in the 1930s and World War II, the immigration waves fell off. Congress passed special legislation enabling refugees from Europe and the Soviet Union to enter the United States after the war. People from Cuba also gained admittance to enter the U.S. after the Cuba Revolution in 1959. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 made the country experience a shift in immigration patterns. Today, U.S. immigrants are mostly from Asia and Latin America rather than Europe. Thanks for watching. If you find this information useful, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our...
Nah, nigga, we ain't doing all of that. That's the shit we're talking about, man. I want to say this. I'm gonna answer this question for them. Y'all motherfuckers are immigrants. And the reason why y'all are immigrants, because first of all, y'all couldn't create anything without Black America or Black Daddy. They couldn't do it. If y'all couldn't do it, you wouldn't need Black Americans, you know? Or even natives. You would have just killed us. But you needed us because at the end of the day, you didn't know how to grow anything. You didn't know how to do anything. Like completely anything. Y'all couldn't even build houses, like a real nice house, you know? But other than that, let's move on to Dr. Umar and his begging ass. Dr. Umar, you gotta stop fucking begging, man. This shit's crazy. And I'm sorry to talk about your peoples like that, Shabaka. I know this is your leader, but he has to get his back kicked in.
The Umar personal bank account is still frozen. Brothers and sisters, we are fighting this war against FDMG and Dr. Umar Ifatunde. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We were supposed to get a refund within 4 days of our accounts being shut down. We still haven't got our refund. We still haven't got our refund. We still haven't got our refund. So, not only are the accounts frozen, make sure y'all hit my Venmo and my PayPal. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist.
What's going on, E. Will? How's everything? Oh, I got copy strike because of the barbs. I was arguing with them, and they found some old shit, and they sat me down for a week. How you been living, player? I hope everything is well, man.
Or tap my Venmo. Text me for the links
I'm
to
back,
donate
though.
to FDMG. Text me for the links to support Dr. Umar. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. On August the 5th, brothers and sisters, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I repeat, on August the 5th, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a lien to auction off the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years. I was not notified of this. We were not notified.
That nigga begging right now. One thing I'm gonna say about Dr. Umar, he knows how to beg properly, man. This nigga, he don't want to say help, please, but I really need your help. This nigga is not saying that at all, and I gotta salute that. Yo, Shabaka, I know where you get it from, man. You get it from Dr. Umar, man.
Of this past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due.
That's what they're supposed to do, Dr. Umar. Yo, you should know when to pay your bills, my nigga. Come on. You're too old to be doing this shit.
Vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities. By the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, can I ask you a question? Why were we not notified that they were going to try to sell our campus? Brothers and sisters,
Fact.
why are they trying to sell our campus at the very moment that our accounts are frozen? Brothers and sisters, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the city of Wilmington is trying to sell properties that we own and have been working on continuously behind our backs? They were going to sell our schools behind our backs. They didn't even tell us that they were going to try to sell our schools. We received no notice in the mail. We received no notice by email. We received no phone calls at all that they were going.
Hey, yo, E. Will, you gotta watch the Scooter the Shooter. You gotta watch that one. The Scooter the Shooter is good and crispy.
To try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door handle. Somebody stole one set of notifications and sent it to the YouTubian struggle streamers. Somebody stole the Frederick Douglass High School paperwork.
That nigga mad right now.
And sent it to the struggle streamers. But luckily for us, Sister Ra Ebony was able to get the paperwork off the Marcus Garvey School before the haters stole that paperwork. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe, brothers and sisters, and please let me know your opinion. I believe that they were going to sell the school, and they wanted to sell the school before we found out. I believe that they wanted to sell the school before we found out. We were not supposed to know that they were going to sell our school. Why do I say that? We were given no notification. We received no letter in the mail. We received no email. We received no phone call that they were.
But you got a letter. You gotta stop doing this old. Dr. Umar, you gotta stop doing this old nigga shit. That's your problem. You and Shabaka and Kwame, y'all do this old nigga shit thinking shit's gonna change. This motherfucking shit ain't gonna change until you want it to change. This is the problem. This is the problem between y'all and us. First of all, we don't have the problem. Y'all have the problem. Your problem is that we're doing great. We're living amazing. Excuse me. We're living amazing right now. Nigga, I almost bought some snow crabs. That's how good I'm doing. You know? And I don't even eat snow crabs like that. I eat that shit, what, 3 times a month? I mean, 3 times a year? The fuck out of here, man. Like, come on, man. Don't make me have to celebrate. Like, y'all have a problem with us. We don't have a problem with you. We don't see y'all as no enemy, as no threat. Y'all are not even a real threat. You know?
We're going to try to sell our schools. Instead, they put a notice on the door. In a low-income neighborhood, they put a notice on the door with rubber band and masking tape. They put a notice on the school front door with a rubber band and masking tape. Brothers and sisters, it gets worse. Back in April, when I found out about the overdue vacant property registration fees, I had asked the city of Wilmington if they could retroactively apply our nonprofit waiver. According to the nonprofit waiver for the city of Wilmington, if you are a nonprofit organization, they will waive your vacant property registration fees for 4 years. If you are a nonprofit organization in the city of Wilmington, they will waive your nonprofit vacant property registration fees for 4 years.
Yeah, we're not the same. Like, what I'm saying, DJ X1, we don't have a problem with them. They have a problem with us. They always had a problem with us. We didn't do shit to them. We didn't do anything. Nor than a goddamn thing. Niggas like Shabaka so they're scared because they have to do shit themselves. They're not trying to do anything themselves. They might sound all bold and, oh yeah, we can do it ourselves. No, yeah. Them niggas ain't going. Yo, Shabaka and Kwame are not going to fucking Africa. Them niggas is going to stay here. Once one of them niggas get a Zika virus or Ebola, them niggas is coming back home and they're never going back to Africa ever again. They're going to be like, fuck Africa. I'm just being personally honest. They're going to be like, fuck Africa.
If they would have applied our nonprofit vacant property registration waiver, we would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing. We would owe absolutely nothing. But I asked them, and they ignored my emails for 4 months. They ignored my phone calls for 4 months. They ignored our emails for 4 months. They ignored our phone calls for 4 months, and instead, the first time I hear from them since April, the first time I hear from them since contacting them April, asking them to apply our vacant property registration fee waiver to the past 4 years so we would owe absolutely nothing, they ignored me since April. They ignored me since April. No phone call, no email, nothing in the postal mail since April. And the first thing we find out, the first time we hear from them since April, is a letter on the front door of the school, affixed with a rubber band and masking tape. A rubber band and masking tape. Brothers and sisters, giving us 20 days to pay these back taxes. We already paid $30,000 for water that we don't even use. We just paid $30,000 to the city of Wilmington for water that we don't even use. And now we got to pay another $30,000 for vacant property registration fees that we shouldn't even owe because we should have a waiver. We should have a waiver. we should have a waiver. And it gets worse, brothers and sisters. It gets worse because they are raising the vacant property registration fee. They are raising the vacant property registration fee this fall from $5,000 a year to $12,000 a year. I'm going to say it again. They are raising the vacant property registration fee this fall from five.
If y'all understand, this nigga's begging right now. He's begging for money. Like, I'm gonna show you how low that this nigga has went right now. After all of that, yo, he's crying, he's complaining. This is how low that Pan-Africanism movement has went. Listen.
What separates you?
I am the table.
I got a new program coming out for the ladies. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FME ladies, $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware.
That nigga on some crackhead shit right now. This is what Pan-Africanism turned into. A hustle, my nigga. This nigga, Dr. Umar is doing some type of shit. Yo, Shabaka, this is your leader, man. You need to go out here and help your leader. Yo, how dare you do some shit like that? And y'all are from the same organization. You're foul, Shabaka.
Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch, I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she wanna be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor?
That nigga flipped out like a crackhead.
What separates you?
I am the table. There ain't nothing more to talk about right now.
Show him. You can stand up. Show him. About table, she mean.
Oh my God.
Black
Oh my
queens forever.
God, that's the table. Oh my God. Hey.
But snow bunnies never.
Listen, just shut the fuck up on that shit, nigga. You're not a real doctor. I'm not gonna lie. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You don't understand. That's some real. That's that guy. That's that guy, nigga. Like.
I told you I wasn't a snow bunny, so why the fuck is you calling me a snow bunny? You don't even know what the you're talking about.
I don't know what shit he's talking about.
Eat you up. The is really wrong with all y'all?
Fuck that nigga.
Why'd I watch him?
Hey, offend woman.
Hey, listen, Dr. Umar. Hey.
Say anything that was offensive. Asking
listen,
a non-black woman.
Hey, listen, Dr. Umar, you're gonna understand, bro. Listen, Dr. Umar, you're gonna have to really understand, bro.
Why you want to marry a black man when black women don't have enough black men to marry them? That should have not been offensive.
Like,
I saw that ass start bamming out. I go, fuck. I said, fuck what that nigga's talking about.
ain't nobody looking at you.
Are you conscious? Are you curvy? Can you cook? And can you keep your damn mouth shut? That's right.
This nigga's down
Every time
bad.
an African baby is born, after we pray over that beautiful African life and wish that baby well and wish their parents well, we then have to cross our fingers because that little beautiful African baby, that little boy or girl, that divine gift of supreme consciousness, in 20 years could damn well be a coon. In 30 years could damn well be a coon. When we celebrate
You interviewed Dr. Umar. Obviously, Umar he's very Pan-Africanism is the word that he used.
Just say he's very not us.
What you mean us?
You know what us mean.
No.
You know what us mean.
No.
You know what? Don't even try it. You know us. What?
Sisters.
That don't even flow off your lips right, son. It's like somebody in your ear like this, like say it, say it, say it. You know, he's not like us. They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you know what the I'm talking about.
Donnell.
Give me my cards. I got some cards. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why do you believe that interracial dating is such a hot topic in our community?
Why is it a hot topic? Again, have something to be mad about. Now, I can understand your feelings on interracial. This may sound crazy. And this up. I can understand that shit if we was still like marching, like in 1940. But god damn, nigga. We got so many examples of what a biracial relationship has created. You know what I'm saying? We got so much of like, it don't necessarily mean everybody ain't trying to fight the power all the time.
Right.
I like how my speech, I said, fight the power downstairs. I'm this freedom fighter right now.
Right.
Yo, I said it in my speech. I said, the dopest blowjob you ever gonna get is a reparations blowjob. I don't give a and you laugh because you know. You don't even hour. What's the difference?
Huh?
What's the difference?
Between what?
Yo, you ever had a reparations blowjob?
I don't get that like that.
Oh man. They always talk about where's the lies? Right here. All lies will be exposed right here. I can understand the sentiment of Dr. I can't talk about it.
I'm not there.
No, I ain't. Okay, I did. You got to hop in here.
I just want you
They
guys
silent. They don't talk a lot.
All right. I'm gonna end right here because I'm gonna do something tomorrow morning. I'm gonna say this. Yo, Dr. Umar is down bad. Pan-Africanism is down bad. Like, we can't do anything with these niggas. You know? My fault, you hear me? Alright, I'm gonna land here, cause I'm gonna do something in the morning. And I'm gonna start giving my shout outs to DJ X1, Shabaka, E Will, Malik, shout out to Malik. Let me see. Rando, definitely. The Truth 81. FBA and Jersey Drive. Salute to all of y'all. I want to also, like I said, I also appreciate everything that y'all have done. I will see you tomorrow, and stay safe if you're out here, wilding out and stuff like that. Just be safe, and